what happens after the wedding lights fade and the world finally falls silent? Tonight, we step into one of the most unforgettable moments in real life, the wedding night of Linda and Quang, where love reaches its deepest, purest form. From the first trembling glance under golden lights to the quiet embrace filled with lifelong promises, and finally, the sacred beginning of forever. This is a story drenched in romance, trust, and eternal happiness. If you believe in true love, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel, because this beautiful journey is about to begin. Under the soft glow of warm golden lights, the bridal room seemed to breathe with the gentle rhythm of a love that had just reached its most sacred milestone. Outside, the city had quieted into a peaceful slumber, yet inside this small, intimate space, Linda and Quang felt as though the entire world was holding its breath just for them. The air was filled with the faint scent of flowers from the wedding bouquet resting on the table, mingling with the quiet echoes of laughter and vows still lingering in their hearts. Linda stood by the window for a moment, her white dress glowing softly in the dim light, her reflection in the glass trembling slightly with emotion. She was no longer just a bride from a few hours ago. She was now a wife, stepping into a new life built on love, trust, and shared dreams. Quang watched her silently, his eyes filled with tenderness and awe, as if he were seeing her for the very first time all over again. Every step he took toward her felt slow and meaningful, as though time itself had decided to move gently for the sake of this moment. When Linda turned to face him, their eyes met, and in that quiet exchange, countless memories passed between them. The late-night conversations, the misunderstandings they had learned to forgive, the tears they had wiped from each other's faces, and the promises that had carried them through every storm. He reached for her hand, his touch warm and steady, grounding her trembling heart with a simple, unspoken reassurance. "I am here. I will always be here." Linda's fingers tightened around his, and a soft smile curved upon her lips, one filled with relief, gratitude, and a happiness too deep for words. The room seemed to grow smaller as their hearts drew closer, wrapping them in a cocoon of quiet intimacy. Outside, a distant car passed by, its headlights briefly sweeping across the walls, then disappearing into the night, as if even the outside world had respectfully bowed and stepped away. In that fragile stillness, they stood together, no longer as two separate souls searching for love, but as two lives finally united by destiny. The first moments of their wedding night were not rushed, not loud, but slow, tender, and achingly beautiful. An eternal pause in time where love settled gently into their hearts and whispered the promise of forever. Still holding each other's hands, they slowly moved closer, as if drawn by an invisible thread woven from every memory they had ever shared. Quang lifted Linda's hand gently and pressed a soft kiss against her fingers, a simple gesture that carried a lifetime of devotion. Linda's laughter trembled quietly in the air, light and fragile like crystal, and in that sound was the pure joy she no longer tried to hide. The nervousness that once fluttered in her chest began to melt away, replaced by a warmth so deep it felt like home. Quang drew her into his arms, and she rested her head against his chest, listening to the steady rhythm of his heartbeat, strong, calm, and endlessly reassuring. In that steady rhythm, she found the safety she had always longed for. The room, once elegant and grand, now felt intimate and alive with their shared presence. The soft curtains swayed slightly as a gentle night breeze slipped in through the open window, carrying with it the quiet sounds of the sleeping world beyond. Linda closed her eyes, breathing in the faint, familiar scent of Quang, a scent that had comforted her through years of waiting, longing, and believing. His arms tightened slightly around her, not possessive but protective, an unspoken vow that she would never walk alone again. Their love, once forged through distance, uncertainty, and countless silent prayers, now burned with the quiet, unwavering light. They spoke softly, their voices barely above a whisper, as if afraid that louder words might disturb the fragile magic of the moment. Quang brushed a loose strand of hair away from Linda's face, his thumb lingering gently against her cheek. His eyes shone with a happiness that had no need for grandeur, only truth. Linda met his gaze, her heart overflowing with emotions she had dreamed of for so long. Gratitude for every hardship that had led them here, and hope for every tomorrow that awaited them. Their smiles mirrored each other, unguarded and radiant, as though the world had finally aligned with the quiet wishes they once made in solitude. Time seemed to slow, stretching the seconds into something precious and unforgettable. There was no rush, no need for words too heavy with meaning, for their hearts were already speaking in a language only they could understand. Wrapped in each other's embrace, they felt a happiness that did not dazzle with fireworks, but glowed steadily like 1,000 silent stars, enduring, gentle, and eternal. In that moment, love was not just a promise for the future, it was real, breathing and alive between them, filling every corner of the night with warmth and unshakable joy. As the night deepened, silence wrapped around them like a tender blessing, and the world beyond the window faded into nothing more than distant shadows and soft starlight. Linda and Quang remained close, unwilling to break the quiet spell that love itself had woven around their hearts. The clock on the wall ticked softly, marking the first precious moments of their life as husband and wife. Yet neither of them felt the passing of time. For them, this was not merely a night. It was the beginning of forever. Linda lifted her head slightly and looked at Quang with eyes shimmering under the gentle light, as if trying to memorize every feature of the man who had become her entire world. He smiled back at her, a smile no longer shaped by promises or dreams alone, but by a future that had just become real. Quang brushed his forehead against hers, their breaths mingling in a quiet rhythm that felt perfectly in sync. He whispered her name, softly, reverently, and in that single word lived a lifetime of devotion, protection, and unwavering love. Linda's heart swelled with emotion, her hands resting against his chest as though she could feel his soul beneath her fingertips. There was no fear left in her now, no uncertainty about tomorrow. Whatever storms might come, she knew they would face them together. That certainty settled gently in her heart, like a warm, unbreakable light. They moved slowly across the room and sat beside each other near the edge of the bed, fingers still intertwined as if neither wanted to risk the slightest distance between them. Outside, the moon hung high and luminous, casting silver shadows across the floor, silently witnessing the quiet beauty of their love. Linda leaned her head against Quang's shoulder once more, and he wrapped an arm around her, holding her close with a tenderness that spoke louder than any vow. In that embrace, the noise of the world disappeared completely, leaving only the steady truth of two hearts beating as one. This was not a love born in haste, nor one built on fleeting passion. It was a love shaped by patience, by endurance, by waiting through lonely nights and uncertain days. And now, at last, it had found its home. The night became a sacred memory, not because of grandeur or spectacle, but because of its quiet purity, the kind of happiness that does not shout, yet lasts forever. Long after the candles burned low and the stars shifted across the sky, Linda and Quang remained wrapped in each other's presence, holding on to a moment they both knew would live in their hearts for the rest of their lives. Their wedding night was not just the end of one chapter. It was the soft, beautiful beginning of a lifetime written together.
Hello, xin chào tất cả các khán giả của kênh Lý Tử Ninja Review. Vậy là câu chuyện của chúng ta ngày hôm nay đã kết thúc tại đây. Trong câu chuyện của chúng ta hôm nay thì Quang và Ninja đã có một đêm tân hôn rất là lãng mạn, ngọt ngào. Đó là những ký ức không thể quên được của Quang và Ninja trong cuộc sống đời thực. Mọi tình tiết hấp dẫn về Quang và Ninja cũng như Sophia sẽ còn được kể các câu chuyện tiếp ở các video tiếp theo. Các bạn đừng quên bấm vào nút subscribe để đăng ký kênh sẽ nhận được thông báo mới nhất về các tập phim sẽ được phát sóng hàng ngày trên kênh nha. Cảm ơn các bạn rất nhiều. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.